Okay, so this video is going to cover, everything that you're going to need to understand about the class and where to look for things, um, and just like key things that are important. So, first things first, this is the course homepage. Um, it's got all the menu type stuff up here at the top. So, the course homepage, you've got this is going to be where the announcements are housed. Okay. Right here is just some information about me, how to reach me, my phone number if you need me for anything. And every week I'll have a new, work due for the day or whatever. So, since this is the first week of class, this is when this is due, okay? And then the list of assignments that you need to complete and turn in by 6/5, okay? And, make sure you read through what's due and what we're working on. What I also do is, I've been teaching programming for a long time now. This is my 14th year teaching programming at the high school level, and I don't know, 4 or 5 at the college level. And I tell students, I never lie to them, like, programming to me was a hard topic to grasp, and it's very overwhelming at first. And so what I try to do is, well, here, let's come back to that. If you go to content, everything that's graded in this class is in the syllabus. And you'll see week 10. Now my screen is going to look a little bit different than yours because I have a teacher or professor account and you got the student account, but you'll need to follow everything on here, okay? And I'm going to update you every week what's due. So, you should know it. But in my mind, it's almost like there's never too much to see when you're first learning how to program and how everything works. I almost think, I think programming is a lot. I've got young kids, and programming to me, I'm like witnessing in real time, watching my kids, my oldest son, learn how to read and write. And programming is no different. You have to first be able to read programs and go through them before you're going to be able to write them. The level of the difficulty jump between just reading through a program and then writing it on your own is, to me, a huge leap. And so what I have done, and I haven't done it yet, but I will have these done each week. Usually I have them done, for instance, in my, I'll show you my Java class or Python class. But this is, I actually started learning on C++ back in college like 20 years ago. And I haven't used it since, but I've taught Java for many years and Python. And so what I'm doing is I'm reworking like my Java videos and Python videos to work with C++. So I actually have not created all these yet, but I'm going to, and I'll show you where I'm going to house them. But for instance, this is all the curriculum that should support your learning and your assignments, okay? You don't have to watch these videos. If you go through the normal syllabus and you understand everything, then don't waste your time watching my videos. All I'm going to be doing is demonstrating different types of programs to get you guys more exposure to programming in general. But again, these aren't going to be graded and they're not part of the curriculum. My other thought is that for many semesters now I've been frustrated I pick a time, kind of random. Usually it's like Monday night at 7 or something to meet with and have like a office hours, and maybe one or two kids, not kids, one or two students show up, and I feel like it's kind of a waste of time for everybody. I think my videos are enough to answer any questions that you might have if you're struggling with anything in programming, because a lot of the stuff you learn at first is you just re-engineer things. You watch and see how one program works, and then you re-engineer it to work with your program. And there's a lot of learning that takes place in that. And so I don't necessarily, I mean, I'm supposed to hold office hours, but in my mind, I'm creating like, hours and hours and hours of videos every week. That to me should be good enough for office hours. If you guys want to meet, I've had good success. Just shoot me an email, and we can figure out a time to meet one-on-one, and I can demonstrate something to you, or I can just answer your question over the email. That's always been fine. There's not a good time for all of us to meet, and I think that's probably why we're you're taking online classes to begin with. Okay, so every week make sure you're reading through the announcements. I'll post these. I also talk about, class discussions. The first class discussion is you're talking about yourself, so you don't have to go find sources. But when we start getting into discussions about different topics, you got to go find sources to back up, what you're talking about. So make sure you throw in an internet link so we know where to look. And because we can actually learn a lot from looking at just the more code you guys look at, the more able you're going to be to read it, and the better you're at reading it, then you'll get better at writing it, and you'll start seeing patterns and stuff, and it will all start making more sense. But make sure that you cite your source and you respond to at least 2 of your classmates for full points. So I talk about that in here, okay? So you guys are going to live a lot in this content section. And, right here, this is where my extra videos are going to be. Now, there's nothing in there, but let me go to my Java class real quick. If I go to content, and I create a new module in here, and I just call it, videos/extra worksheets. Ours is going to look exactly the same as this. And so I've got all these different videos that I've thrown up and that you guys can watch throughout the semester. Now, again, these are Java videos, and I need to rework them all for C++. But there's nothing in there yet, so I'm going to get cracking on that all weekend long. So, let's see here. These are your different modules. Now, let's kind of look at this. You've got your reading, module 1, module, visualization. Those are the exploration, visualization. Your book is an online Cengage book, but you'll just click on the different modules or assignments from your your content page. Now you can go back by clicking on that, and it'll send you right back. But it'll open up your book. Programming example, design, and algorithm should pop up here. My internet connection's kind of slow, and it's got a video in here for you or whatever. All right. You can kind of go once you're in that Cengage book, you can go through the Cengage book and just stay on that site, but I wouldn't work it like that. What I would do is I would use this and then go into your Cengage book from here. Like this is your first assignment, exercise 33, 34, and 34, 35, and 36. Whoops. I clicked the wrong one. You'll see, let me see here. Assignment, real quick. Let's look at that. Did I click the wrong one again? Okay. Complete all exercises 33, 35, and 30, 34, 35, and 36. Okay. So here's your different exercises. Okay. And so you'll write those up and send me those and upload that stuff. Now let me look at this. So this is going into the Cengage book, and let's just see what this kind of looks like. What's nice is that they've built in an online compiler for you, and so you'll be able to start the new assignment, and you can run your programs through this if you don't want to use the Visual Studio. So seeing here how you've got main, and you've got the different CN and Cout. So this section is all about variables and seeing what's happening, and it's kind of nice because you can run this, and in the terminal it's enter your age, and I am 41, so I press enter, and that's all it does, because that's all the code does. But it's definitely really nice that they've got this built-in compiler, because Visual Studio can be a little bit confusing. It's the easiest one I've found. I've tried messing around with Eclipse and some of the other ones, and I don't have a lot of patience, and I'm trying to get all this stuff done, and I'm I just don't have enough time right now to tinker with the different compilers. So if you guys have a compiler that you want to use in this class, I don't really care. When you turn in your work, you'll just turn in like main CPP, and you'll send that to me, and then I can look at it and run it on my end and make sure it works. And if you have errors, I can fix it for you. So that's a little bit about the book. And let's see here. It's a little bit about the book. Again, you're going to live a lot in this content section, going into the modules and then going into your reading. You can click on the e-text, and you got the different chapters. And so, like I said, let me show you this real quick. You're definitely going to want to be, in the classroom going in, because I think if you try to navigate through the book and you're in here, you're going to get lost and you're not going to know where to go. Now, is there just a place where I was looking, when I set this up, I was at the beginning of the book trying to go through it on my own, and I was like, ooh, this doesn't make sense. But it does make sense when you're clicking on the different chapters that you need to read. So again, I wouldn't navigate through here. I would just, click on whatever assignment you need to do here, and then you can navigate that assignment in here. So, let's see, what else is important? Discussions. These are your discussion questions. You don't get access to all the work at once. It has to load each week. And so, in here, this is your first discussion, and I posted a discussion. You should see me posting a discussion, being the first person in there, posting every week on Sundays. All your work is going to be due on Saturday night by 11:59 p.m. I'm not a huge stickler on late work, especially this year with COVID. I know people have had issues, so I'm usually pretty lenient. Not only that, overall, I want it to be a learning experience for you. I know everybody has their issues at times, and they need some leniency, and I'm usually pretty okay with that. Just try not to take advantage of it, because again, I I just want to make it a learning experience for you so that you actually, you know, are motivated to do the work and take something away from the course. Okay, so that's discussions, quizzes. You'll be quizzed on every module. And so, you know, you'll have your quiz that will pop up. Your grades, you know, mine's going to be way different looking than yours. I don't even know if, you know, right now there's no grades entered, and I wouldn't film that because then people could see people's grades. But right now, the class isn't even started. You just see a couple names. So, but you'll be able to see your grades, and, you know, I grade everything. I'll grade through the week if you send it to me or post it early, and I'll put grades in. So I actually like grading through the week so I don't have to grade it all on Sunday. I try to get everything graded on Sunday. We'll see how it goes this summer. It's been a crazy year for me too, so I'm actually going to try to take some time to myself this summer to recharge and get back to a better place because this year's been ridiculous. But so anyway, this should give you a good idea on how to navigate through the course, what you need to look for, and, you know, what you need to be successful. And again, shoot me an email if you need anything, if something doesn't make sense. But for now, I think this is a good introduction to just the platform and what you need to get started on. So this video is done. Oh,